in the zone, 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 podcast, in the zone, in the zone, in the zone, podcast, in the zone, in the zone, in the zone, podcast, in the zone, in the zone, in the zone, podcast, in the zone, in the zone, in the zone, podcast, 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 in the zone, in the zone, in the zone, podcast, in the zone, in the zone, in the zone, podcast, in the zone, in the zone, in the zone, podcast, in the zone, in the zone, in the zone, podcast, 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 in the zone, podcast.
Oh.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of In the Zone podcast. It is your boy, B. Foster. Brian Foster is in the building. Happy Wednesday. Hey, I hope you, it's February. This month is already moving. This year is already moving. But it's all right.
Not fast enough.
Not fast. Are you ready for the summer and the spring?
No, I'm ready for 2028.
Oh, well, you got a
Let's go.
long time to make it happen.
I know.
But on my left side, on my best side, as always, my co-hostess with the most is Chantel. What's happening?
Hello. Thank you for finally showing up. And don't think we're about to skip the conversation about you going to Beyonce concert and wearing cowboy boots. We're absolutely going to talk about that at least for 2 minutes before we introduce our guests. I want Brian to wear a bolo tie and a 10-gallon hat. Can we get that? Can Allison get that? You said you wear a bedazzled belt.
Oh, you thought we were going to have this conversation right now? Wrong.
What?
Wrong. Here's what I want to have a conversation about.
What?
You look amazing today.
Jesus, thank you. I must really look good because you will find any reason to tell me love that.
No, you look good today.
Thanks.
Anything outside of that damn blackboard t-shirt and the bandana?
I
was going to burn.
Just go loud.
I was going to burn that t-shirt.
I'm going to wear it next week just because you burned it.
All right, it's been a while. I'm going to let it happen now. All right. What are we talking about today?
One of our guests did not enjoy our title, so traveling. We're talking about traveling. Black folks traveling.
Cowboy vacation to be false.
Yes! Come on.
Fine.
And I want you in all silver. Ooh. Brian, 10-gallon hat, bolo tie, silver pants, silver jacket, silver belt.
You want all the gays on me. Is that's what you want? That's what you want?
Everybody's gonna have silver on. I'm telling you.
Right.
You go out to blend in.
Okay.
Or you go stand out. Of course, Brian likes to stand out because that's what he does.
Some things I can't help.
Whatever.
Anyway, we had this on deck a little bit ago, and we had to shift it for various reasons, and we're happy to revisit this topic. So it is the winter time. Summer and spring are coming. Everybody's making their travel plans for the year. We want to holler about travel. Some tips, some do's, some don'ts, but mainly some funny stories. Why is it that we find that men travel less than women?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I put that on there. Why you don't see that women tend to take more trips than men tend to take? You've never noticed that?
I know more women. No, the men I know travel. They travel
in general.
So perhaps I don't know the general public. That's why I'm like,
well,
really? That's the truth.
I do, and these motherfuckers don't want to get out the stool at the den to go.
Well, if the Vegas trip was any indication, you're right.
Well, Exactly. And you know, are these fears of what happened on boys and girls trips even valid? We'll dive into all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But first, why don't we introduce some of our faves who are not in studio with us, as you see,
I know, so sad.
because they all over the world. They move and travel. Even when they don't, they move away from Chicago. They travel to go live.
I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. These two are part of the reason Brian be all in his feelings about my friendships.
I'll be in my feelings.
No, you be definitely in your
Yeah, I
feelings.
do be in my feelings.
You be bringing them on the show like you took my friends. I'm like, I did not take your
didn't say
friends.
you took them. I said
I borrowed them.
Them raggedy skanks left me. That's what I said.
Well, fine. Since these two are the primary reason Brian is so upset with me and my friendships, we have Keisha. Hi, Keish.
Hey, y'all.
What up, Keisha? Keisha ain't been on here in 2 years.
Every time we ask, Keisha be on some bullshit.
I know.
She be traveling.
She be traveling.
It took Chantel to ask me. I'm never going to tell her no.
Oh,
see how we do?
told y'all what he mad at me about.
See how we do?
He said I stole his friends. I mean, that's not helping my case at all.
At all.
And y'all have seen her a million times. We have her on at least every other week. Jennifer
It's not
Lee.
every other week.
It feels like that. But we love her.
Every other month.
Hi, guys.
What's up, Jen? How's the move going?
Listen, I was just outside. It's 70 degrees. I mean, I have sunroof open. I didn't feel like I was going to get jacked. Like, I'm very happy right now.
You do know that's crime in Dallas, right?
And you didn't live nowhere in Chicago where you thought she was going to get jacked. Who are we fooling right now?
Brian, somebody got carjacked right around the corner from where I live. Like,
somebody gets carjacked right around the corner from where everybody lives.
True.
Brian
was just telling me a story that got carjacked.
Somebody got carjacked around the corner from me in Flossmoor. This is the world we live in right now.
Don't try. No, see, that's that Chicago thinking. It's everywhere.
Right.
By my house.
Oh, well, yeah, I would expect it by your house.
They don't.
They do the carjacking.
That may be true.
Carjackers
Carjack over there.
Didn't they steal your bike out your garage, my nigga?
That's because I left the car garage door open. It was semi my fault.
Well, then there you go.
I can be honest about that. That was my
You left
fault.
the garage door open.
I was still new to the house, so I wasn't used to having to pay attention to make sure the door closed. And yeah, it was wide open when I got home, and they took my bike.
You grew up in Chicago, right?
I know.
Okay, just making sure we on the same page here. Let's get into the show.
God, you get on my nerves.
Wait, one thing though, Brian, I did
Yes.
a visual of you in the little tight silver pants, and I think that you should do it
Silver for the
For the Beyonce concert?
please.
Okay. I'm in.
I'll come home for that one.
Y'all gonna go to the concert just to see
I'm
Brian.
in. Let's go. I'm in.
Well, I already got my thing in for the ticket, so I'm
in.
gonna be there. All right. Where you want to start with? I guess we should probably start with why we even brought you all on, right? Because we all travel, but these two travel a little bit more extensively than the normal Black person. I mean, can you all give me just like a quick summation where you've gone in the last 2 years, just so people can have a real full understanding about what we mean by extensive traveling? I'll let Jen go first.
So I use an app to track my travel, but it would be difficult for me to say where I've been in the last years. My goal is to go to 5 different countries a year. I think last year I did 7. The year before that I did 8. So every year I want to go to the continent of Africa. Every year I want to go to the continent of Europe, and then there's something in between. I might go to Europe twice. Like last year I went to London twice. So it just depends on the year and what I have going on.
What's the furthest you've ever traveled?
So I always think the furthest is like Southeast Asia, Thailand, Bali, Singapore. Those are like those 20, over 20 plus hour flights. I think that's probably the furthest, because even though Africa can be that, it's typically due to a layover and not like if you were to take something direct.
The actual airtime, yeah.
Sounds like Jess Kwan is a bit of a hater. All right, Keish.
What up, Kwan?
Let's talk about the last 2 years. You don't have to be specific, but give us a general idea of your traveling.
Colombia, Panama, Barcelona, Paris, London, Singapore, Bali, Ghana, South Africa twice. I'm missing something. Mexico, We did Mexico.
Mexico even count?
Sure it counts.
Mexico City is incredible. You have to go. It's not Cancun. It's not Cabo. Mexico City is outstanding. Going to Thailand and Vietnam in 2 weeks. Tanzania, Kenya, Doha this year.
Doha.
Brussels. I'm missing something. Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been Japan. How could I forget that? I was in Tokyo and Kyoto and Osaka.
I actually forget that.
Shut up, Jen.
I knew Jen was gonna say something.
Damn, that's why I forgot. I didn't want to bring that fucking memory up. Yeah, it's been a good year. It's been a good 2 years.
All right, so we did not bring schlubs on here. These women travel quite extensively. I'm very jealous, quite honestly. I'm trying to keep up with them.
Fucking what's the place in Mexico everybody goes to now?
Cabo, Cancun.
No.
Oh, Tulum.
Tulum, not Tulum.
Not to them. Jen has though.
I have. I took my daughter there during the pandemic.
Oh no. I'm not saying people shouldn't go to Tulum. I'm saying I don't want to hear. I travel all the time. I go to Tulum.
That's Allie. Yes.
Look, if they go to the Bahamas and Jamaica, that counts.
Sure.
We ain't shit for that.
Sure. It counts.
We don't count. We ain't shit. If you go to the DR and Jamaica and the Bahamas, you too are a traveler.
Yeah.
I'm not very impressed with you, but you are a traveler nonetheless.
We're
Okay.
Traveler.
So we talked about some highlights of your travel. Let's talk about maybe we should start off with some low lights, like the worst place you traveled to. Let's talk about that a little bit and why it was the worst place. I already know what Keisha about to say. This should be real interesting.
No, because Jen is gonna. If I get sick, if I can't drink the water, if eating a vegetable ruins my trip, I just don't want to go. So I had a tough time in Ghana. I had a tough time in Bali. I live well at home. I don't want to go on vacation and be ill. So yeah, that was.
So that it was because you got sick, not because there was no Four Seasons. That was just fucking with you.
There is a Four Seasons.
When there was
no, we're not going down the rabbit hole. No.
No. We couldn't get a Marriott, nothing. There was no motherfucking Four Seasons.
Y'all see what Keisha's standards are.
No.
So I should have prefaced the title with bougie travel.
It's not too late to change it.
That is my fault.
Traveling bougie. All right, so Keisha had a hard time in Ghana. I thought you didn't like Ghana because there were no vegetables.
That's what I'm saying. We ate a vegetable and got sick. I don't want to do that much thinking when I'm on vacation. So yeah, no.
Same trip. I sick.
Allie said you can drink the water in Ghana.
No, Allie.
You know you can't.
Allie.
No, you better.
She said, read it again.
She said you can't. No, you can't drink the water in Ghana.
I learned that the hard way, Al.
No, she didn't drink the water, and I didn't get sick on the vegetables because Ghana has no vegetables. So everybody
Sounds like my type of country.
you went in Ghana, but I went out to dinner and I went to what's considered the best restaurant in Ghana. And I said, because they eat a lot of yucatan or whatever, them big old potatoes. I said, y'all, I'm sick of these fucking potatoes. Like, do you have spinach? You got some Brussels sprouts? You got some broccoli? Like, they was like, no. Then they go back and check the kitchen. No. So what did I have? More fucking French fries, whatever you want to call it. Like,
good for you.
Do not.
Good for you.
But what I will say that Ghana has that Keisha is not mentioning, Ghana is a turn up. There's not many places where you can party from one end of the beach to the other, like all night long. Like Ghana is a turn up. But I would say go there for about, people that love Ghana, I say like, where else have you been? Because Ghana is not my favorite African country because I don't think that if partying is your main objective, that's a long ass way to go to party. But, you can go see the slave castles because that's where most Americans came from, West Africa. But I mean, I like Ghana. I just don't have to go back. So
what was your worst trip?
My worst trip. So Keisha would never even go to this country, but Zimbabwe, which is the true bush. Like we're sitting at the pool and a baboon jumps out the tree and snatches a piece of meat out of a little girl's hand. Or we go to dinner and we have to stop in the middle of the street because elephants are crossing. My boy didn't. You have to sleep when you have to sleep under those mosquito nets. That's how you know the stuff is fucked up. Like it's scary. So my boy didn't sleep under the net. Y'all, I thought he was gonna die. I've never seen mosquito bites like that from head to toe red, blistered bumps. He woke up. If we were in the United States, I would have taken him to the ER. But I mean, so I would say from an American spoiledness perspective, Zimbabwe is the Africa that Donald Trump talks about. Like Victoria Falls is there, which I think everybody should see, but that's it. Like it's not civilization.
Okay, so now that we've drugged Zimbabwe to hell and back, worst or one of your worst trips.
Any Zimbabweans listening, I apologize.
Those thoughts are of Jen Lee, not the views of In the Zone podcast. We said all the hate that away.
Please.
Worst trip.
That's what she did answer.
Oh, was that Zimbabwe was the worst?
That's what she just said.
Yeah. I mean, every other trip, I'm going to find the positive. Like I will tell you, I think Keisha loved Brussels. Brussels is the financial capital of Europe. It ain't shit to do in Brussels, y'all. It ain't shit to do in Brussels. Like Luxembourg. Oh, there's a country next to Brussels called Luxembourg. Because we drove from Paris to Brussels and stopped and spent the day in Luxembourg. Nothing to do in Luxembourg. Like skip over that country. So when you talk about activity, I would say from an activity standpoint, there's nothing to do in Brussels and Luxembourg in Europe.
No, I would agree with that. Brussels was on my bottom lower 5. Brussels would make the list, but insofar as a bad trip, Ghana just was rough. The roads were underdeveloped, couldn't eat the food. It was a turn up for sure, but it was also 8 days in one country, and I also don't like that. I want to bounce around and see as much as I can.
Same.
Yeah.
Regard.
Let me ask this.
What did you say, Jen?
We're the same in that regard. I don't
That's
like
one of the few times this shit is gonna happen tonight.
Let me I don't know. Y'all seem to be in the same bougie camp. Let me ask this. When you are traveling, what are you looking to do? What's your ideal travel experience? Is it sights? Is it partying? Is it meals? Is it fine men? Is it dune buddies? I mean, what are the things that make up the perfect trip for you?
Yeah, I'm nightlife, really good food. Like I try to do a Michelin star restaurant when I'm gone. I also like activity. I'm going to Paris glide. I'm going to ATV. I'm not doing museums. I'm not in the history and all that. That's not my thing. I went to Paris and didn't go to the Louvre. Like I'm analytical all fucking day. I want to eat well. I want to party. I do want to rub up on men.
This sounds like your type of trip, Jen.
Absolutely, it's actually not. So, I'm a nerd at my core. I like architecture. I like good food, but I do not expect it because like London is one of my favorite cities. The food is disgusting. And I love museums. Like when I went to Amsterdam, I spent a day at the museum while my ex-husband was over there smoking weed and looking at hoes. And
Red light, baby.
Red light district, right? Exactly.
That's so matter of fact.
I like shopping, architecture, and nightlife, but not too late because I'm 50.
50.
You ain't been 50 your whole life, lady.
Well, I went to Barcelona and I couldn't hang because the club don't open till midnight.
Oh, I kicked it in Barcelona.
No, I went to bed.
Barcelona.
I got it in.
We haven't even hopped in here.
You ain't 50. Anyway.
I said 53, sir.
Oh, that three faded out. All I heard was 50.
A whisper.
We haven't even hopped in here. What when you travel, what interests you? Architecture, shopping, drinking.
Drinking's always on the table. It depends on who I'm with, how long I'm there, and what I've done most recently before that trip.
Wow, you got a lot of caveats.
I do. Because I can do all of that, right? Like I like to sightsee. I like to figure out where the locals go and hang out and do that. I like to do, like you said, the parasailing, the ATV, and the snowboarding, the skiing. I want to do all that too sometimes. And then occasionally I don't. I just want to sit by the fire and drink and chill. I don't necessarily want to get on the snowboard and do that. So there's no, and sometimes I just want to go and sit poolside or sit beachside and get a margarita. And that's all I want to do for 5 days. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go. I don't want to leave a resort or I don't want to leave a beach. I just want to chill out and relax. But what I really find my pleasure in now is watching my kids experience things I've already experienced.
Aww.
And seeing their either joy or dismay, depending on what it is and where we are.
Dismay, Jesus Christ.
I mean, so with these children. I'm just saying sometimes, that you try to get them to do some things out their comfort zone and they're not they're not down for it. Then but I always want them to know you can't say you don't like something until you've done it, until you tried it, until you ate it, until you drank it. So that's really where I'm at right now. Really taking them places and doing things that they haven't experienced that I think they might like.
That's very sweet of
I like to torture their ass.
Wait a minute, Brian. What's your worst trip? What city are you never going back to?
City I'm never going back to. That's an amazing question. Let me think on that for a hot second. I'll come back to it. But Sean, what do you look for when you travel?
So I'm a total nerd. I can do all the partying. Shut up, Jen. I can party. I can shop.
I'm
Okay,
never traveling.
I will party for a few hours before I need a nap. Fair?
9 o'clock, lights out, motherfucker.
No,
It is what it is.
8:30.
Not some haters. But if I'm really somewhere I want to go, I'm a nerd. I think I've talked about this. I'm really into history. I'm really into architecture. I'm really into food. So those are the things, if I have my way, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going on to museums, learning the history of that particular country or civilization. Much like you, I want to eat where the locals eat because that's usually where the really good food is. So those get me excited about traveling more than anything. Yeah.
And Allie just called it out. She's right. Beijing. I never, ever, 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 ever.
You didn't like Beijing?
Have to go back to Beijing.
Why? What was wrong with Beijing?
Beijing was not a vibe. You said what, Keisha?
I said those are your people. The Asians.
I know. I went home and I didn't like it.
I don't ever want to be around my people again.
I didn't like it.
Why didn't you like Beijing?
I'll say
Everybody's too short. I felt like a giant.
What did you say, Jen?
The architecture is supposed to be beautiful in Beijing.
There are things to do and see, absolutely, but the people are rude. Everybody's on top of each other, and when I'm in a circle of folks trying to get my history on, trying to see some of the buildings and learn some interesting facts, and somebody puts their baby on my shoulder so they can take a picture.
Oh yes, that's Asia. That's Asia.
Because they've never seen a real live black person. I'm done with that scene.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's kind of bad. Yeah. I probably wouldn't want to go to Beijing
So
either.
that was the one place where we spent an inordinate amount of time to get to, pay for, and we're at for a while where there was a whole day we were like, I'm not leaving this room. I'm good.
I tell anybody, and I actually would not. I would go back to this place in a different circumstance. My worst trip was to Marais. If you don't know, Marais is outside of Bora Bora. Bora Bora? Yes, in the Polynesian Islands. Here's the problem with Marais. Marais, everything shuts down at 8 o'clock. And I mean, everything shuts down at 8 o'clock. The resorts, the bars, there's nothing to do from 8 p.m.
This sounds like your vibe.
To 6 a.m.
This sounds like your
Well,
jam.
I was also on a girls' trip for somebody's birthday. So we were hella bored.
You still go to bed. Like
I went to bed, but I was with 9 other girls who wanted to stay up, so they wouldn't let me go to bed. So
you got to find your bed before 8 o'clock.
That is a place you have to go to when you are fucking somebody. We are a fucking place because there's nothing else to do but fuck and jet ski. It's beautiful.
Or have sex on a jet ski.
Or have sex on a jet ski or a sail. But I was like, wow, never again with a girls trip.
Okay.
Never again. Mila asked an interesting question. Jake, can you pop that one up? Yep, that one. Now, this is an interesting question only because these are like 3 of the most popular people in Chicago. We'll start with Brian. How common is it for you to see people in Chicago when you traveling out of the country?
I mean, this is a ridiculous question. I have never, not once run. All right, that's bullshit.
That's a lie.
That's
You told me you ran into somebody in Lisbon.
In Lisbon and Germany.
So at least twice.
Absolutely. It's odd, like to be walking down the street of.
You hear beef false?
Hear beef false. I swear to God, we were in Germany.
What the hell?
Wow, I can't even remember which city we were in, and we walking down the plaza, and somebody's like, "Beef false?" And I was like, "Jesus!" And Allison's face was like, "I hate you." So you will run into folks in some of the strangest places, but I will say this: this is as with this, and we'll get back into some of the questions with the ladies, but. people talk about Chicago. Folks don't ever want to leave Chicago. Don't ever want to move out. Don't ever want to travel. Blah 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 blah. Nah, them your people. It's a gang of folks in Chicago that get all over the place, that move out of the city, but that's not even the show, but that get out in this world and travel. So I'm always like the conversation is always, no matter where we go, like in the States, outside of 100 people you think you're gonna see on this trip. Now, I'll tell you, I did not run anybody in Beijing.
I don't see how. Well,
I mean, I think I ran into my cousin, but I wasn't sure. But other than that.
All right. I think this is a fascinating question only because you three are so goddamn popular. Jennifer Lee. Now, I know you probably ran into somebody from Chicago every damn trip. I know this got to be possible.
I was in the caves, and this sounds so bougie. I don't even like to say it, but I was in the caves of Egypt looking at King Tut. This girl was like, Jennifer Lee? And I was like, yes. You know, I don't remember anybody's name. So turns out she went to Lindblom. I didn't believe her because she didn't look the least bit familiar. I took a little picture and sent it. She did actually go to Lindblom, but that has been the only time outside of like, you know, Bears game in London that I have run into someone who knew me in a different country.
Okay, so once I'm proud and shocked.
No, so London, I'm in a bar, random bar, and in walks my friend from college, and I didn't know she wasn't even there for the Bears game. That bitch was there to shop. So it's happened, I would say, twice.
Okay. Keish?
I don't think it's happened to me abroad. It's happened like Napa, ran into a bunch of dolphins because whatever, Martha's Vineyard. But I don't think it's happened to me when I've traveled internationally. I've met Chicagoans just because you talk to Black people when you are traveling. But no, locally, domestically, 100%. You can't go nowhere without seeing somebody.
Yeah, I don't even count domestically.
Exactly. Wait, but I gotta go back to something Jen said. I swear to God, something told me we should have a drinking game for every time me and Jen don't agree on some shit.
No, we'd be dead.
It ain't too late. It ain't too late. We'd be dead. When Jen said London's food is trash, that's an absolute fucking lie. London probably has some of the best food that I've ever had in my entire life.
I hear mixed things about London.
British food is trash. Like
British food is trash.
Garbage.
Indian food,
right?
Oh, that's great.
Yes. Okay. I just want to clear the record. Don't go to London.
One of the best meals I've ever had was in London.
Yeah, it's great.
Ethnic food is good.
Yes.
British food is disgusting.
British food is
just fish and chips. What the fuck you want?
Well, what about the sausages and stuff?
Pork and beans with your eggs, like
disgusting.
Apparently, Allie also agrees. London has the worst food.
Thank you. Thank you. Like,
Yes.
oh, don't challenge.
Go eat Indian food when you go to.
Oh,
we
no.
wasn't there together. Next time we go, I'm gonna take you to this restaurant. I had one of the best meals ever.
That's actually the best Indian food I ever had was in Greece, which is weird to say. Greece has a crazy amount of indigenous Indian people who live there. So every time you're walking down the street, every like 3 storefronts is an Indian restaurant. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I didn't know.
So does Dallas.
Let me ask this, and then we'll get on some of the tips and tricks later. But we ain't even into that.
We're not.
But I do want to ask: when you go on your trips, and you all are clearly travelers, and you're not in a relationship, you're not married, you ain't got no man, ain't no man with you, is one of your goals to meet a man and hook up? Jennifer Lee, start with you.
You can start with me all you want. It's so funny because I'm like Chantel and Keisha, y'all don't know me. So I have a rule, and I want to put this out there because I think the perception of me is totally wrong. If you are not fucking me in Chicago, you are not fucking me anywhere. So I don't do random sex. Now, I have been on dates in Ghana, in Tunisia, in London, in Scotland. I do go on a date and I might get a little kissy, but that's as far as I'm going to go because I am very skittish about what if I turn up dead? What if I end up in a suitcase? What if he give me AIDS? Like, so no,
you ain't worried about that in Chicago, though, huh?
My goal is not to hook up. Now, if I meet a man, I don't mind hanging out with him. Like the guy I went out with in Tunisia, he didn't even speak English. Like that was the most interesting date I've ever had. Like where we used Google Translate to communicate. But traditionally, that's not one of my goals because I just don't trust people like that. Yes,
Okay.
Cindy, me up. You can do the turn up.
I can actually believe that.
I can believe that.
Yeah, I'm funny acting. I'm,
Keish?
Yeah, same. I'm stingy in real life. I'm certainly not going to some random country and fuck a stranger. And yeah, I'm scary. Also, I don't want to catch something that can't be.
Another thing that we agree on.
Yeah, I really did not expect.
So far, we will be sober if we were actually
I was
playing
about
this
to say.
game.
Thank God I drink anytime I
That's
want.
because Brian's not asking the tough questions. Once it gets to that, Keisha gonna be going to blows.
Yeah, we don't agree
I
on.
start asking about hotels.
Oh, we'll get that.
So no, Brian, there are no sexcapades on vacation.
Now, that's not to say that my friends ain't done it though. I mean,
That's the next question, but we're gonna get there in a second.
What's exactly the question so I can answer
So
that
when
question?
you're on a trip and you're single and you have no attachments and you are in Louisville or Lisbon,
Okay.
do you want to? Is one of your goals not necessarily meet somebody and have sex, but to meet a man and have an adventure and get some drinks and flirt? And if it leads to something, it leads to something.
Is it my goal?
Where's your goal?
No. Am I open to it? Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I would not. I don't know about these scary motherfuckers up there, but I will also say I'm not attracted to people very easily. Like it's rare that I've seen a man across the room be like, man, I fucked the shit out of him. That's probably happened twice in my entire life. And I've definitely dated more than 2 men my whole life. So it's hard for me to be so attracted to somebody to want to sleep with them the moment I meet them.
Okay.
But if I wanted to fuck them, would I? Sure.
I mean, the moment you meet them, no. But I'm saying you meet some.
If I felt like I wanted to do it, then I absolutely would. I would do it with a condom so I don't walk away with AIDS or the clap or whatever. But yeah, I would do it for sure.
I didn't know you were a hoe, Sean.
Y'all gotta be something in life. Shit. Granted, I've never done it, so I don't know how much of a hoe I am. But would I? Yes,
What's
I would.
up, D-Berry?
So I guess I am a potential hoe. I don't know how that falls in the hoe.
Okay.
Like,
all right. You got
shame you.
you got whole possibilities. All right,
yes,
that's cool.
a potential hoe. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I better not be getting no phone call later. That's all I got to say. All right.
Have you ever done this when you've traveled, like got on a Tinder or a Bumble just to meet somebody to hang out with? Like, are you opposed to something?
So Tinder and Bumble came around when I was in relationships. So no.
But they were around when you were not in a relationship. So
Yeah, but them 6 years that I didn't want to date anybody. So that doesn't count. I mean, I guess it does count. I didn't want to be bothered with anybody. We've talked about this before. Them 6 years between relationships, I was like, oh, thank you.
Jen, Keisha, y'all ever jumped on an app to meet somebody in?
again, that to me equals disappear from the land. Absolutely not.
Oh no, I absolutely on a solo travel. Yeah, I absolutely have. It's harmless. It's a tour guide. It's somebody to take you around, show you some restaurants. I absolutely have done that, and would do it.
I got a question. Have you? So you've gone. I know you've done this. I was gonna let you out yourself. Have you ever been on one of these dates and felt like he was? I don't want to say pressure because that's probably not the right word, but maybe was trying to seduce you into
yes,
a situation.
Yes,
He's not doing his job.
I mean, that could be pretty chill. I don't know.
Yes, and the answer is no. You're not.
But you would make out, Jen, if you
let him kiss me though, and he was a great kisser.
Oh, okay.
But that was it. Good night.
Jen asked something earlier, or made a comment
about what?
Very recently, she said that while she has not, her girls definitely have.
Oh.
So girls trips, men, we worry about some do, some don't. Some men worry about their girls going on girls trips and how they gonna bust down in Vegas or whatever. Are men overly concerned about what goes on girls trips when you all travel?
Yes.
I don't know if the men are overly concerned or not, but I would tell you that everybody doesn't have my rule of if we not fucking in Chicago, we not fucking in Lisbon. So I have been on trips where some vagina has been given out, and who am I to judge?
That was good. I'll take that hospirations.
It was pretty good. You look kind of judgy when you said it. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Oh, absolutely. It's full of judgy motherfuckers.
Keish?
I think women should be more concerned. If your boyfriend is going to Cartagena, Medellin, the Dominican Republic, you should
Thailand
and Brazil. Oh, Thailand's enough. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Men don't have shit to worry about. Women don't cheat. I think women should be more concerned about.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
I told my line sister, I was like, why does your husband have a house in the DR?
Ooh.
Like, why?
Oh no, the DR is a great place to golf.
Yeah.
And to pick up a whore. Oh, I'm sorry, domestic
For
domestic
$5.
servant.
Everybody that goes to these places is not messing with whores. Y'all got to stop that.
Oh, yes.
Bullshit.
Brian, are you
No, they
serious?
are not.
Brian.
All I'm gonna say is if you hear the word domestic help come out of your husband, boyfriend's mouth, kick his ass. Start
In
right at that
Colombia,
moment. Start kicking his ass.
were the prostitutes rampant in Colombia? I mean,
So I didn't see it in Cartagena. I saw it in Medellin. It was really
like $5, suck your dick, suck your dick.
yeah.
Hold on. Let me. As a man that has seen these places, when you say are they rampant, are they available? Sure. If you go to the places where they frequent,
No, they're everywhere, Brian.
they're not everywhere. They're not everywhere. They're not everywhere. One of the most amazing mall I've ever shopped in was in Medellin, and there were no random skanks sitting on at the Baskin Robbins trying to sell you ass. It's just not true.
They're Baskin Robbins.
I'm making it up, but whatever.
They everywhere at the bar, in the club, and on the streets.
Bars and clubs, sure, but you know how many other things there are to do besides go to the bars and clubs?
Yes, because men on men's trips are going to the museum. That's what's happening. Brian, get the fuck out of my face.
Men play golf.
Fine.
Men do all the water activities. And sure, do they go to clubs and bars at night? Absolutely. But there are men that absolutely do not want to pay for some ran through a million people and fucked a pussy. I'm just telling you.
Of course.
Why are you picking that destination? You've not been on the continent. You've not been to Mexico City. You've been to 3 places: the DR, Cartagena, and Brazil, and no place else.
I'm not saying that the passport bros don't exist. What I'm saying is every man is not a passport bro. That's what I'm saying.
That's fair.
I'm
telling y'all,
if y'all go to Jamaica and the Bahamas and blah blah blah, and y'all looking for Dick St. Jock, we ain't supposed to think nothing.
Well, seeing I've never been to any of those places, I guess I'm saying.
You've never been to Jamaica?
I've never been to Jamaica, Bahamas, or Costa Rica. No, I have been to Costa Rica.
Oh,
I'm sorry, DR.
Costa Rica.
DR. I've not been to there. No. They'll probably be the last places I go before I die.
Your boyfriend don't go nowhere but those 3 places. He belongs to the streets. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, if you don't go nowhere but them 3 places.
Huh?
If you don't go nowhere but them 3 places.
That's what Keisha said.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all they go. In Thailand, if they throw Thailand or Amsterdam in the
if they throw Thailand,
turn off. Get off the speed.
To have sex with children, because in Thailand you can have sex with children. And he said this to me while we were at Hooters.
Who said this? Without him, who is this?
An American man was like, "Oh, they let you do everything here, kids, boys." I was like, "Oh my god."
I mean, that's probably true.
Nobody got it from the table.
He didn't say that he was doing it. He's just saying that the world is your oyster. In Thailand.
But he doesn't sound disgusted by the fact that you can have sex with a 10-year-old.
Right.
Well, I wasn't there. So
I need that kind of reaction.
Sex trade in the world.
I want to pause on the fact that you were at Hooters in Thailand. What the?
I'm so sick of Thai food. I was there for 2 weeks. Like I could not eat another grain of rice.
All right. Let's deal back into the actual. Well, I guess we.
Hold on. No, now I gotta hold on. Jake, 2 comments up. Allie Foster put something up. Not that one. That one. Absolutely, the place that men go to cheat.
You didn't see that?
I didn't see that before.
I did. I did too.
If your man, Keisha, is saying I'm going with my boys and we going to Medellin for 4 or 5 days, you just assume he cheating?
I would have, and that's the first trip that he's taken abroad. That's the place that he's
no. He's traveled lots of places, but he's going to Medellin with 3 of his boys. I
trust him enough. If it's 4 of them, 75% of them are buying pussy. I'm going to trust that my man.
80%.
You can't even do 80% with 4 people. What are you talking about? The man's no man.
You see her point, though, right?
Her man is gonna get his dick sucked, so it's only 5%.
I was gonna say a handy. He's not a handy. He goes, oh, okay.
No, because
I'm gonna trust my man and say that he is not cheating, but he's probably the only one of the 4 who's not. You don't go there. All right, I can't believe I'm being like questioned about this. This is like I'm +2, my niggas. He going to fuck
for $5.
This is what you all think about us. This is crazy.
100%.
Didn't we just have a young man sit right there and say, if you're going on a girls trip, you going to fuck. And he didn't give a fuck where you were going. You could be going to motherfucking it. Land set right there with me.
He did say that.
Thank you.
You said young man. You threw me off.
You going to DC? You going to fuck? I'm like, okay.
Yes, he sat right there and said it. I was like,
but
what?
Here's my point to that, and I get why there are certain destinations where absolutely there's sex trade going on. But if men are going, if are you thinking that when he goes to Vegas, when he goes to DC, when he goes to New York, when he goes to Phoenix? I mean, they're
not $5 there. They're $5 in Colombia.
You cannot buy
Vegas. I do have some questions.
You can
prostitution's legal.
$20.
You said what?
You can get your dick sucked for $20 in Medellin for sure.
Yes.
If you can buy a woman for the whole weekend for $100.
The exchange rate is favorable.
Actually, you can do that in
Jen,
Mexico.
you can take that comment down. Thank you.
You can. I know somebody who rented a woman for 2 weeks in Mexico. I think he spent $1,000 for the 2 weeks, and she was with him every day, all day.
See,
I could do that in Chicago.
No, for 2 weeks?
Shit, I absolutely could.
How do you know this?
I've done it.
Stop.
I'm not. I'm kidding.
Right.
I'm kidding. But my point is, if he want to be on bullshit, he can go anywhere and be on bullshit.
I mean, that's true. But to Keisha's point, if he's always going to these same destinations over and over and over again with the same group of men.
No. Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. There are certain trips men go on, even knowing that people your boys, your friends, or whoever gonna do what they gonna do. Sometimes you got to see the shit for yourself.
You gotta watch your friend get his
I can't. No, you gotta watch that. But I can't believe this, that, and the other. And you kick it, you party, and then you take your ass over. But like, that's just true.
I mean, what are they doing? That you know what? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna move us along.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back into traveling. Let's talk about.
I told you to turn off, motherfucker. I told you to go away. Jesus Christ.
You sound like you. All right. Overrated and underrated. You want to do stuff to do, or you want to do places? Overrated and underrated.
So earlier we did touch on what you like to do when you travel. Are you a museum person? Are you a restaurant person? Are you this or you that? What is? I want to ask you all, Keisha and Jen. What are some of the to you in your personal experience the most overrated things people typically do when they go on these trips? I'm not saying like you went here and this one thing in particular was overrated. I'm saying in general, what activities or blah, blah, blah do people get into that you like? I don't even know why people do that bullshit. Keisha.
The whole city of Paris.
God damn.
Yeah, look, Keisha, we 3 for 3.
What?
We would be fucking sober right now.
I'm just drinking on my own.
How is this possible? We fight every week about this shit, Jen. Yeah, Paris was like the east side of Chicago. You ain't ever.
Damn,
that's crazy to me.
Yeah, every time I hear about Paris, people are like, it's totally overrated.
And you go get Paris 2 days, and you go over to London.
Yeah. I'm not saying Paris for 2 weeks, but you saying Paris in general, huh?
I did.
A lot of agrees.
A day was enough. Go see the Eiffel Tower, walk the river.
Right. Keisha didn't even go see the Mona Lisa. And they eat these weird birds, like
weird birds,
like stuff like pigeon. Like
well, I have heard that.
I did hear it's very dirty in Paris. People love Paris. Yeah. I've never been.
I've never been.
I've never had an interest in going.
Italy, how do you love Paris? Like, have you been to Italy? Have you been to London? Have you been to?
I think I'm going to Paris this year.
Are you?
Yeah.
To see Beyonce? To see Beyonce?
Not to see Beyonce. We're going. Allison's running a marathon in Germany, and while we're there, we were talking about
spend a couple of days in Paris.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, skip that. You're gonna be real close to Scotland. Do that. Do some Scotland. Do anything. Don't go
anything but Paris.
She's like, go anywhere else.
I gotta see Paris before I die.
Where are you going again? You said you're going to Germany?
Yeah.
I mean, you could shoot down to Athens. I love Athens.
I would go
it's not
go back to the south of France, hands down. If I were going back to, as a matter of fact,
it's south of France.
Huh?
You said south of France?
Yeah, we did Monaco for the F1 race and stayed in Nice. going back this year. Like that was probably my best trip last.
So you saying hit Paris for like 8 hours and then keep it moving?
8 hours.
Telling you,
Fly,
you don't need that much time.
fly out and go.
Yeah, saying she's doing Berlin.
And then go to Nice and spend some time in Nice and drive to Monaco. I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
Okay. All right. So Keith says Paris. Jen, you agree, but she just shit on the whole city. I was talking
Like some specific activity.
Right, I was
Yeah,
talking
Paris.
about the whole city,
Like
but
that shit.
I love that. Jen,
I was
what do you
talking
think?
about the flying dresses. Like people be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a flying dress in Cancun." Bitch, stop! Like,
Yeah,
why?
I'm so sick. I'm so sick of the flying dresses. I don't know what
The
to do.
flying dresses have gotten crazy. It's to the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
where
That
it
was
off
cool
the
5
stage.
years ago. I don't need to see one more flying dress.
If you're not gonna do it in Greece, don't do it.
Bali was fun.
All these other places, to me, I'm like, could you not go to Greece? Like, why you down in Mexico doing a flying dress? Why you over there in Vegas doing a flying dress? Like, stop. It's just, if I see one more flying dress that's not in Greece, I'm just gonna throw my phone.
Why Greece? They do that everywhere. They do it in
They are-
Singapore.
Oh, they started it. The flying dress thing started in Santorini. The rest of these folks are copying, trying to get money from these folks who don't fly to Greece. Like, it's just.
Bali was better than Santorini, I have to say.
I think
yeah.
it was Fort Lauderdale doing the flying dress.
Right. Well, South Beach, flying
That's what they could afford. Look how people live their best life.
all that money you spend to go to Miami, take your ass to Colombia, Costa Rica, and don't do no flying dress.
She right about that flying dress shit.
All right,
That-
yeah, I'm done with the flying dress.
I'm going to Santorini and Mykonos, and somebody asked me was I going to do that flying dress shit, and I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, stop that.
No.
All right, so what's the most over? All right, Jen shit on flying dresses. Keisha done murked the city of Paris.
What's the most overrated thing? Jen took mine with the fucking flying
Was
dresses.
the dress?
Yes, I can't think of anything else that's really overrated. I hate whatever the touristy areas are. That's probably the most overrated. The touristy area of any goddamn city, name it, it doesn't really matter. The food is always subpar. You're always paying way more. I much prefer to go where the locals go.
That's how you
And
get your
eat.
stomach fucked up, though. You go over there with them locals all you want. Your stomach not cut out for that.
I mean, at least I'll give it a shot. If I get food poisoning, it is what it is. But
You'll be like Keisha.
I mean, I'll be like I was in Costa Rica. I got food poisoning the last day I was in Costa Rica. Did I tell y'all that? Yep. I was in the hotel room about to die.
No, but we talked about overrated. I want to talk about underrated because
Yeah, let's go there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
All right, overrated, Brian.
Overrated. Damn it, I just had it in my head. And Jen just made me think about it when I started. Overrated. Overrated stuff. Pool parties.
Ooh.
No, I'm not taking that. I love a pool party.
I love a pool party, but they're fucking overrated.
They are beat to death.
They are overrated. I'm not paying $200 for 8 people to be in the pool and the rest of y'all standing around looking at me buying an $80 drink. I'm just not gonna do it. I enjoy being at the pool. I enjoy when I'm at the pool and the party breaks out. I am not paying $100 for anybody's pool party anymore at this big age. I'm just saying.
So does that mean
And most of y'all don't need to be in bathing suits, men and women. I don't want to see the shit. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see
That
it.
was really.
I'm just saying.
Really.
You just got to be below the belt.
That one. I said that. A lot of y'all don't need to be in bathing. Not y'all necessarily on the show. In general.
Thanks, Brian.
I'm glad you put that caveat in there. You a damn hater.
Oh, Allison, damn it, I thought you cut off, but I'm glad you're still here. Martha's Vineyard. Over.
You lying. Now you wrong.
Overrated. Oh my God, Martha's Vineyard is overrated.
You know what's overrated? I'll come back. I just thought of something.
Oh,
I got
overrated.
another one too. But you wrong.
Overrated. There's overrated. Martha's Vineyard is boring as fuck. Overrated.
Wait, when did you
I
go?
do hop from
And
house?
I know that there's black this weekend and black that weekend and blah blah blah. Overrated.
Agreed.
You know what's overrated? Vegas. That motherfucker. God.
I don't know. Some of the most fun
again.
times I've had in the United States have been in Vegas.
In Vegas.
100% disagree with this.
I'm sure y'all do.
100% disagree.
There's nothing to do. Have you ever been outside the strip?
Wait. There's everything to do in
That's
Vegas.
on
That's
them-
the
on them-
beauty of Vegas.
On them one long ass block, you're right.
So
if you
what?
ever step outside of that block, there's nothing to do in Vegas.
Untrue.
It's a big ass suburb.
Old Vegas.
Yeah,
Old
free
Vegas is
fun.
dope now. Old Vegas is dope now. And if you know anybody that actually lives in Vegas, they'll take the mountains. You can get off that mug, the helicopter. If you want to party in Vegas, you can do it. If you want to get a massage in Vegas, you can do it. If you want to golf in Vegas, you can do it. If you want to gamble in Vegas, the pool, the shows, there's no way you can't have a good time in Vegas.
I didn't say you couldn't have a good time. I said it's overrated.
It's not overrated.
And I'm saying that you
done
crazy.
to death.
Like, you crazy. Vegas is a good time. It's a place. Got a 3-day limit, and then you need to get the fuck out.
And then you gotta get out of there. Then you gotta get out of there.
Now think about this: you can't go to a 4th day in Vegas because if that you
no. It's not that you can't enjoy a 4th day in Vegas. It's that you will fucking die.
You'll be tired. You're right.
Yeah, that's a great trip.
Okay, wait, Sean. We went to Miami and we went to Vegas.
I prefer Miami.
Miami overrated.
I prefer Miami.
Miami overrated.
I prefer Miami.
You had a better time in Miami than we had in Vegas?
I didn't say I didn't have a good time in Vegas. I prefer Miami. I like Miami more than I like Vegas.
Hell no.
You remember our roulette table, the poker table? What are you talking about, Sean?
I did not say I had a bad time.
She just thinks Vegas as an experience is overrated. Martell, we already shit on Tulum, so we ain't got to bring it.
All right.
And none of us have been, which is cool.
I've been.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I bought a whole beaded blanket and then I brought my ass back to my resort. I didn't be there for 3 days. Anyway.
You know what else is overrated? You were right. New Year's Eve parties are overrated.
They are.
They
are.
This ain't got nothing to do with travel, but
no, I did it. It did in Cartagena. And we spent. I'm going to tell you how much we spent for this rooftop party, and it was like
we did the same thing in Panama, and I was like, y'all, why we could have just stayed at the hotel and bought a bottle. Like,
I heard that New Year's Eve in Ghana is a motherfucking something.
Oh, my daughter was out till 11 a.m. Now I didn't do that, but I mean I wasn't there for New Year's Eve.
Damn, I'd be dead. Y'all be here like Chantel. She partied to death.
You wouldn't make it.
I wouldn't. I'd be gone at 9 o'clock per our conversation at the beginning of this show.
Ghana is not for you, Chantel.
Yes. Okay, underrated. Keish, what's underrated when in travel?
Underrated.
Place, activity, people.
For me, I think just getting the flight and the hotel and just fucking going is underrated. I think people got to plan shit out and that's too much. Book the flight, get a hotel, fucking Google and figure it out when you get there. It doesn't have to be planned to the moment. And I think you don't allow for the spontaneity and the exploration when you plan your shit like tight. Maybe book some reservations depending on the restaurant, but just go and figure it out. Have fun, have some conversation with strangers and just make it a good trip. It doesn't have to be planned out to the T. Just go.
So that was one of our questions. So you prefer not to be everything to be scheduled to death. You want to have a couple things scheduled to have some framework maybe, and then everything else you just figure it out while you're there.
Me personally, if I'm the only one going, like in group travel, somebody else takes that responsibility. But if it's just me, I just want to explore and not. I plan for a living. I'm not going to plan a vacation. That's just
Jen, underrated.
I want everybody in the world to go to Ireland. When I tell y'all, I left Ireland feeling like I left Vegas, like I needed an IV and to check into a hospital. You got to think about Ireland is booze, it's beer, and it's booze. Like, I was like, oh my God. Like, what I want you to think about, because really Scotland is the same way, Scotch. Scotland is the same way. They have all these clubs. They have all these drinks that are made there. So you can visit, Jameson, you can visit Guinness. And then they have these clubs and they have a large population of Africans. So the clubs are turned up. When I tell y'all Ireland is slept on, go to Ireland. But again, do it like Vegas. Give yourself 3 days and get.
You can't fly all the way to Ireland for 3 days.
No. So I left Ireland and went to Croatia, where I had some nice little beach time and relaxation.
Oh, I heard Croatia's a vibe.
Croatia is
supposed to be stunning there.
Oh, I'm going in May. Give me.
That's where. So that's another underrated spot, because that's where Game of Thrones was filmed. And if you're a Game of Thrones stan like I am, to see like every place I went, I was like, I see Arya Stark like running through like. So say Croatia and Ireland and Scotland, because I think like I'm starting to think like the whole UK is just a turn up, like, because it really is. Like if you go to London, Ireland,
Mhm.
give yourself about
I'm
2
racist.
because your liver is going to be mad at you. And the shopping is amazing and architecture is amazing. The weather is not amazing, but wear a coat.
Okay. Underrated, Sean.
I think food is high. I don't think people travel for food. And I think people should get more invested in experience, especially Americans. My biggest pet peeve in traveling is traveling with Americans. Here's why. Americans want to do American shit in another country, which irritates my motherfucking soul. I'm not getting on a 12-hour flight to have America in Europe. Like that's the dumbest shit on the planet. So I think the most underrated thing is to experience that country, experience its people, experience its food, get into the culture and the real essence of that country. Stop trying to replicate America in another goddamn country. I'm getting off my soapbox now.
That's valid. That's super valid.
Hate that shit.
Like, do they take dollars? Motherfucker, first off, your dollar is worth less than this pound. Put that shit in your pocket and bust out a credit card. I know when a person asks if they take dollars, they not about that travel life. Like I'm like, no, I can't fuck with you no more.
Do they take?
I went on a trip. I went on this girl's trip at Murray, and the women there complained nonstop about the food. Now, I will admit the food was bland, but that's part of the experience is to experience that culture. They kept asking for American food, like, do you have a cheeseburger? I was just like, can y'all stop?
Let me say something. You really upgraded your travel mates. I'm just saying.
I have.
You've come a long way.
But keep in mind, Keisha will spend all of your money. So if
That's true.
Keisha, please don't think about your budget.
Does not exist.
It's true.
Keisha does not give a fuck about this meal is just $2,000. It's $500.
That's true.
Food is gonna cost $500. Okay.
I'm supposed to go to Doha with Keisha, I'm afraid.
Be a good
I'm
time.
about to take a second mortgage out to kick it with her.
Keisha's my type of person. This is how if we rolling, we rolling.
We
You're
drug
exactly
on this
right.
motherfucking trip.
You
Let's
know
go.
I hate going anywhere. Even
first off-
like these bear takeovers, and it's like I want to be around all you say, motherfuckers. I could be around at the den. Absolutely not. I want to go and experience the city and the real people and the culture
Yeah.
of that place. Even if it's Cleveland, I don't want to go
Facts.
where all you Chicago motherfuckers gonna be.
Even though every time you go to a Bears takeover, you have a damn Bears takeover event or a meetup or something. But you hate us so much.
No. You misunderstand. I
Mhm.
want to meet my people that are there. I absolutely do want to at least hook up with y'all once and have a drink and kick it and take a picture. Do I want to go to all the Chicago takeover stuff? No shade on my boys that do it. I hope y'all make your money. I just don't want to do it all.
Sick of seeing y'all.
weekend. I could see.
I agree.
I could go right now and see half of y'all right now
That's
if I wanted to. So I'm good on that. Underrated.
You know something else that's underrated is the value of a good travel credit card. If you're gonna do this, commit to a credit card, whether it's a Amex, United, Delta, whatever, commit to the credit card, put everything you possibly can on it, get access to the lounges, the upgrades, all that shit. I wish I had done it sooner. But yeah, get a good travel credit card. Real talk.
That's actually a good call.
That's a
Don't
good
think
call.
about that enough. But like, do you want to sit like when I fly in London and you got them long ass layovers? Sit on food for 5 hours is way different than you sit.
Who got the sirens in the background? Is that you, Jennifer?
That's got to be Jen.
No, that's Nashville. Can you?
I was about to say because Jen was just popping, so I was about to say. All right, go ahead, Jennifer. I'm sorry.
No, but so I think that when you and also those credit cards, they give you free access to. They pay for your global entry. I would say, like Bartel asked, what's the best card? So I have a American Express Platinum as well as a Chase Sapphire. Between those two cards, I have access to a lot of lounges as well as a lot of freebies like global entry. What's that one that you use? That's like Clear. They give you free Clear. Now their membership fees are like $600, but you do get that back in like hotel credits. You can call their concierge and get stuff. So if you are, and it give you like points enough for not Southwest because they don't fucking go nowhere. Ismail.
They're supposed to be expanding their.
Don't you listen to her.
They're expanding their options.
Oh, they're gonna leave North America. whatever.
Yeah, they do. Didn't I just read
This
that
a
they go?
bougie-
No,
That's some bougie
we're
shit
about to
right
take a
here.
shot because I
That's some
fucking
bougie
love
shit right here.
Southwest and Jen hates it. We finally disagree on something.
I hate the Southwest too. I do not understand how you fly them, but
Canceled. I had a flight. I had a return. I had a flight on Southwest. I flew it there, and I canceled the return and bought myself. Well, mainly too because I used my American Airlines credit card. I have status. I board quickly. I don't pay for luggage. So all those things you think the Southwest is good for, but also, folks, I can go to the American Airlines lounge and post up. What lounge does Southwest have?
So here's the thing. When I lived in Chicago, O'Hare's a fucking shit show. I don't want to go to O'Hare. Midway is just so much easier, and that is where at the time you could only get a Southwest flight out of Midway. So it just made sense. You don't have to pay for bags. You commit to it. You eventually get their version of status.
So you get the A group. You get A1 through 30. Get the fuck.
I don't have to. Y'all don't like it. You got to wake up and check in. When you have their version of status, you don't have to do that. So I don't have to ever go back to ORD. It's one of the worst airports in America. Southwest just makes a whole lot.
You want some real hater right now, and
I hate
Midway. Nowhere.
Hold on. Just before you start, you bougie mama. I swear to God.
Both of them motherfuckers.
All of y'all, three of y'all.
Hey!
Marcel, that's a great question. Keisha made a great point. What's the best card to?
I think that's way too hard to say, right? I think if you care about status, then to Keisha's point, you need to pick an airline, get a rewards card with them, and build up your points so that you can get status, you can access their lounge. I think if you don't care about status, but you still want the points, I think Capital One actually has some really good cards. Sapphire card is a really good card as well. So it really just depends on what you care about at the end of the day. But I would also suggest you just do your research about who gives the most points. I think you want to make sure whatever cards you get, they do pay for your global entry. There's also a level above that some cards pay for. I forgot what it's called.
I'm gonna send Bartel my referral code. Get the Amex Platinum, and I can get a hookup. I'm gonna answer that question candidly. Let me.
I just think it depends on what matters to you at the end of the day. I know. And some people, I mean, I think obviously Amex is going to be the best, the gold, the platinum, the black, if you can get that. But if that's beyond you, then there are some options. I think you just need to do your research. No, I have a regular Amex actually. Every day.
Regular Amex, but
I just haven't upgraded. I could get a platinum. I just haven't upgraded. Can get black. Let me ask y'all this: What is the? We didn't look. Fuck all that.
We ain't did nothing on here.
Bump that best trap with tech. Blah 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 blah. What's the wildest thing you've ever done on a trip? And I will let you define wildest.
Okay, since they sitting over there processing which wild thing they go actually tell versus which ones they don't. Back to the girls trip. Obviously, I did a lot of this damn girl trip. So remember I said how there's nothing to do from about 8 p.m. to about 6 a.m. in Marais? We spent about 30 minutes running up and down the boardwalk because we had those overwater bungalows, butt naked, all 9 of us just running up and down in the middle of the night.
That's weird.
Outside. It's probably the wildest thing I've ever done.
Okay.
Sorry, that's all I got.
That's all.
What did you expect me to say?
Running up and down a boardwalk naked with 9 other chicks? Was kissing or something afterwards? Did somebody get their booty ate? Anything?
If they did, I wouldn't say.
Well, then why the fuck are we having this conversation?
Well, I'm sorry. What were you expecting? You didn't put no parameters, you damn drunkard. What you want me to sell some coke?
If that's what you did.
Fine, I sold some coke in Marais. I don't know what you want me to say.
Okay. Boo. This is why Sean don't get to start these conversations. Keisha, wildest thing you've ever done?
I did some really Cancun. I was young and dumb. I made some bad choices with the firemen from the U.S. in Cancun. I didn't bang, but we did a lot of stupid shit with a stranger. And then lots of skinny dipping. I can't count how many times I've done skinny dipping with strangers as well on vacation. YOLO.
I want to ask more probing questions.
She's obviously being vague.
I know, and I don't like vagaries. So when you say you've done a lot of stupid things, but y'all didn't bang.
No, we did not.
So what stupid things are we talking about?
I don't think 46-year-old Keisha would let a stranger come back to her hotel room. I've done that clearly for more times than I care to admit. So just stupid shit like that. That's all. But I've never had sex with a stranger on vacation. Oh, we got close.
What signifies a stranger?
I didn't know him when I got there, but we met there.
Okay.
Yeah, true stranger.
Gotcha. All right. Jen, I hope you got better than this. Come on.
I was gonna say this is not really better than what I gave.
I'm feeling real vanilla. I don't have anything. I've never done. For number one, I travel solo. So of course I'm not gonna do anything traveling solo. But then even in a group travel, I don't have nothing. The most wild thing I did was in Vegas with your ass, and then
Wait,
that was the wildest thing.
What did we do?
Well, let me tell you why. So
what did we do in Vegas that was wild?
Not me and you, but so I hung out with Brian and friends like all night long. I did not have a return flight to Chicago. So I flew to LA, and I pray he's not watching, to trick off because I could get to LA for like $100. I'm like, let me get to LA, and because the flights from LA to Chicago were cheaper. But I was going to Ghana to meet Keisha 2 days later, so I only had a day. So I left Vegas after being up all night with Brian and crew, went to LA. This man got a hotel room, and I fell asleep on him because I had been up all night. And then I had an 8 a.m. flight, and I flew my ass to Chicago, picked up my suitcase, and went to Ghana. So that is probably the craziest thing I've ever done.
I'm proud of
to me, it was just crazy because it was too much. I turned 50.
This is the wildest. Her going to a nigga's hotel room and going to sleep.
I was in the store,
I'm like, that's the winner.
It was wild because when you look at the timeline of events, like no sleep, don't have a return ticket, go to LA, supposed to be fucking, don't go to sleep, and then pick up a suitcase and then go to Ghana. Like it was crazy. By the time I was like, but I don't have anything like, I told you, I'm Keisha, I'm scary. I ain't never done nothing.
All right, B, what you got? Did you steal some cars?
He can't say nothing.
Did you run a drug ring?
Allison, are you still here? Okay, all right. No, tip. Wildest thing I've ever done. We were in Rio, and we were kicking it. We were having a good time, and my cousin actually wanted to. No, it wasn't my cousin. I'll take that back. It's my cousin's best friend. Wanted to smoke.
Crack?
So, no, not crack. Just
try to amp up this story.
He wasn't very specific, so I just assumed he meant weed, but that's what we went and found. But we went to this is before the Olympics, and I haven't been back since, but I hear that a lot of stuff got cleaned up. But this is way before this. So we went, and everybody told you, do not go in the favelas. Stay on the strip, stay in the tourist shit, do not. And we did.
Except
we met these chicks on the strip, and we said we wanted to smoke, and they took us into the heart of the favelas to get weed. And I'm nobody's tough guy, I'm nobody's scrapper, but I've always said I'm not afraid to go nowhere in this world because I know how to handle myself no matter where I am.
Until
let me tell you. I put that theory to the motherfucking test in the favelas of Brazil. It was scary. However, and we got what we needed, and we got out of there, and everything turned out fine. But
why was it so scary?
It wasn't very bright, I will say that.
What was so scary about it?
So I've been in a lot of countries where I think that my mic is on crazy. Where I've been around places where there are men guarding places with machine guns and all these types of things, right? But they were like, paid security, be they military or not. I've never been anywhere where I've had AKs and all other types of automatic machine weaponry around me with 10-year-olds are holding.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
It was like that movie. What's the name of that movie from Brazil?
Children of God.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it was, It was not bright. But the night turned out fine. But that's probably the wildest, stupidest thing I've ever. I put myself in serious jeopardy.
All these stories are lame.
Lying. That's not
Lame.
What do you think I was gonna say?
I don't know. You said our shit was lame. I thought you were gonna like
half of my life.
shoot up or something. I don't.
You
what
thought,
you were gonna
shoot up? What the fuck? No, I've never shot
I
up.
don't know.
Like shot up or shot up?
Shut up.
No, come on, stop it.
I don't. I'm just saying. You said our shit was whack. I thought you was
Nigga,
gonna
I was in the favelas. I had to fight my way out the favelas with a nickel bag of weed. we
You had to fight a 10-year-old with a machine gun.
Look, I
to
kicked
get
the
out.
shit out of that 10-year-old.
That's
What is
hilarious.
wrong with you? Jesus Christ. All right, we've talked about the best. I don't think, have we talked about even the best places to go? I think we've talked about a bunch of places, but we haven't talked about the best place we've ever gone to. I don't think.
We did talk about the worst. We never talked about the best.
Jen, where's the best? I don't even know if Jen can name a best.
No, so typically when I say this, and again, this is gonna sound really bougie, and I'm sorry, I try to break it up by continent. So my favorite European country is Portugal.
Wait, hold on. Pause. She said she thinks this is gonna sound wrong. I break it up by continent.
I don't think that you can say, like, I can't say that Portugal is better than Tanzania. Like, I love Tanzania so much. It was also transformational because I went there by myself. But I love Portugal. Like, Portugal, I've been twice. I want to go a third time. They have great food, great culture, great nightlife, great architecture, great drinks. Like, I love Portugal. And the same with Tanzania. Is beautiful beaches, beautiful culture. To me, it's the Africa that you dream of. It's not all whitewashed like Keisha's favorite place.
I knew it was coming.
Wow.
And then I love Thailand, and I'm interested to see when Keisha goes in a couple of weeks if she loves it. But in Thailand, I was Kardashian wealthy, and I've never experienced a place where I could just make it rain on like $300, like get clothes made.
You know that's that Jen's like. That's
No. She
that's
shit
her
on men
measurement.
going to Thailand, but then she said she can go to Thailand.
My favorite thing about travel, my number one thing that will put Europe below everybody else, is I like to be rich, and I am.
That's her measurement.
I mean, sloppy, filthy. Like, I'm gonna do a whole spa day, and the shit was $60. I'm about to get a whole outfit made. I'm about to buy jewelry. Like,
You want to buy a hoe for $100 a weekend, huh? That's what you want.
oh, like just wealthy. Like, it is a different feeling. Like, you know, in the United States, I'm old middle class, but in Asia and Africa, a bitch is rich, and that is a beautiful feeling.
All right, follow-up question.
Where did you do coke? In my bathroom, Bartell. What are we talking about?
Follow-up question. If you could only go to one country for the rest of your life, where would you go?
Move or travel?
Travel.
So you get to come back home, but you can only go back
Like,
there
for
to
whatever
travel.
reason, 45 not 47 says
Come on, let's
you
not
can
do
only
that.
go. I'm just trying to make it. You can only go to one. You can't travel to a bunch of countries. You only got one that you can travel to every year during my presidency. Where are you picking?
Portugal.
Okay.
The whole country is just amazing from top to bottom, like wine region. I mean, Argyle. I mean, it's just beaches, city, nightlife. Like, it would have to be Portugal.
All right, Keish, same question.
But she didn't answer the first question.
I'm gonna assume they're gonna be very similar.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
We're opposite.
Oh, so your favorite place is not gonna be the place if you only could go to for the next. That's the only place you could travel.
No, it wouldn't. I think my favorite place, if I'm gonna define it by continent, Barcelona is my favorite.
Come on.
Yeah, I think Barcelona is my favorite European city. Singapore, hands down.
Double thumbs down.
I told you. And then, and here's the trifecta, motherfucker. I love Cape Town, so South Africa is my favorite country on the continent.
Damn, I got to Joburg, but didn't go to Cape.
You didn't
all right.
It's nothing but the white people.
No, you missed out.
I did miss out.
All right, so you only get to choose. You only can go to one of them for the next 4 years. Where you going?
Choose the white one.
No, I'm probably going with Singapore.
Ugh.
If I had to pick one of those, but honestly, no.
Why not just go to DC? Because that's all Singapore is.
Like,
what are you talking about? Gambling. It was safe. It was clean. The food was good. It was friendly. It was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. That's hard to say because I would probably really want to go back to the south of France and just spend time in Monaco and Cannes and Saint Tropez and kind of just drive around. So I don't know. Nigga, I'm not going to Gary, Indiana.
Asked about Senegal. I'm going there in April/May. I haven't picked a date yet, but one of them places, one of those dates, I'm going to Senegal, and I heard that I'm gonna like it more than every place that I've been. So we'll see.
Somebody else asked about Panama. Bartel, yeah, I loved Panama. I think, and Jen and I agree. So that tells you something because we really don't agree.
We don't agree.
Not
Nothing. So yeah, I 10 out of 10. I absolutely love it.
As a matter of fact, we should go to Panama, the four of us, and look, Allie, if you're still on, you can go too because it's a turn up.
all right.
And there's a casino there. We get back on the tables.
What's the note? Is the note you can't go or?
No, she can't come. That's on my good time. I'm just kidding, baby.
All right. Is your favorite place also the place you would only want to go to for the next several years?
The only place I'm going to. I hear Keisha on this. Like Barcelona is a vibe. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
Is that the only place I want to travel for the next, let's say, 4 years? Probably not, because it's not relaxing enough. But if you ask where I'd move, yes.
Barcelona.
Where I'd like, yeah, no, I don't know where I don't even know where I'd say I'd want to. The only place I would go for the next 4 years. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. It's got to be somewhere more tropical. If I can only go there for the next handful of years, it's gonna be somewhere warm, beach, palm trees. Yeah.
Okay.
Does the cost of living matter to you? Like I'm with Jen. I want to be a rich auntie when I travel. In Barcelona, you can't get it.
No, you're not. No, you're not rich at all. But
Yeah.
and you know what? To be frank, I probably need to go back to Barcelona now that I'm a little bit older. I went to Barcelona when I was in my late 30s. It might be a different situation now that I'm a little bit older.
Yeah. I would love you to see it because all I saw was Cristobal Columbus, and I was just walking around angry. Like, look at this shit.
Yeah, to them, he's a well, to us, he was forever. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation.
So my two favorite places were Athens. I said I would actually live in Athens if I could, and I still think I'm gonna go back in 2 months. So I'm gonna see if I still feel that way in 2 months. And my other favorite place was Costa Rica. I think if I could only travel one country, it would be Costa Rica for the next several years because they have so many different types of. First of all, they do have like a very Caribbean side. So there's a side that's going to be vastly different than like I went to this part that was Amazon, and they also have a very resort side. So they do have a metropolitan city. So it allowed me to experience different regions and different types of weather and have a more metropolitan experience. Or if I want to go and hang out with the Black folks, I can go to that part. If I want to go look at monkeys and jaguar, there's a part right there. If I wanted to chill, there's a part right there. So I think I'd pick Costa Rica.
Let me ask you all this. Jake, we're gonna wrap soon. What's the one place you have not been that you want to go to?
So I have a bucket list, and I really want y'all to come because it's for my 55th birthday. So I want to put this on the radar. Madagascar. And I know your kids have seen Madagascar, the cartoon, but Madagascar is my bucket list trip. It's the last place that I really can say that I want to go. It's very far. It's off the southeastern coast of Africa. It's not easy to get to. We will be rich once we get there, but that flight is going to be a doozy, and I want everybody to come. Now, when I say I want everybody to come, I'm not about to use a travel agent, and we're not about to pay monthly installments. I just need to pay your money. I don't do that. I can't stand
People got to do what they got to do, Jennifer.
Well, they can do their monthly installments, but when I say I'm buying a ticket, I'm buying a ticket, and y'all just get.
She's saying that she ain't organizing shit. If you come, you come.
I will organize once y'all get there.
Once you get there.
All of that, let's use a travel agent and drive up the cost and pay monthly installments. We too old for that. Like, you should have $3,000, $4,000. Like, I'm not.
Oh, Hawaii. Overrated. Sorry.
Oh, yes. Hawaii is overrated.
Damn.
It is a curtain. Sorry.
I got another one. Sharing the room is the worst thing in the world. We also too old for that. So that is overrated. Get your broke ass in a room by yourself.
Thank you.
You're not sucking on me and fucking on me. We're not sharing a room.
Nope. And even
I
if
don't have a problem sharing a room.
bad
But
days,
No, I know.
I'm fine either way.
It's weird. We're not fucking.
That bug me.
I want to go to Antarctica.
me too. And they have
I did say that.
no.
I've heard it's beautiful.
I'm going there with you.
It's 20 grand, but I think it's important. I want to do all 7. So that's on my list.
Sean?
Let's go.
I have several. I'm going to one this year. Shout out to Keisha. I've been dying to go to Doha. That's been on my list for several years. And we're going this year.
Jen, you over talking. Shut up.
They didn't invite me to this Doha trip.
I think.
Oh, you didn't get invited?
No. That's not true because you
That's
said
not
you
true.
Oh,
You
no,
was
keep talking
invited.
then, Jen. Keep talking. I want
you
this
were
fight.
invited, but then you shot back and said, I want to go to Istanbul instead. So, yeah, that was you.
Why couldn't I just go to Doha, the Doha leg?
Well, come on.
We asked you to come to the Doha leg. You said you wanted to go to Istanbul instead.
I ain't gotta go there with y'all. I can go there by myself.
Nigga, just come on. Stop being a brat. Shit.
I guess the country that's sticking out in my mind that I really want to go to is Malta. I'm dying to go to Malta.
You could go to Malta when you go to Greece. They're right there.
That's true. I could. And
That's
now that Santorini just had that earthquake, we may be recalibrating our travel plans. So maybe I could maybe make Malta part of this.
You should.
Thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
I'm telling you, picking the weirdest cities in the world.
Malta, have you seen Malta? Malta is stunning.
Yeah, about 2 days.
That was a compliment. I love that you find the like you know the word, like you don't get the things that everybody else wants.
Not
to
typical.
True. I was on Maldives before anybody even knew what the fuck that was. I was like, I want to go to Maldives. I want to go to Maldives. Then poof, everybody was Maldives. I was like, I'm good on Maldives.
That's like when everybody got that bullshit fight credit to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that's that.
When everybody, what's the city in Saudi Arabia? What am I forget? What am I?
Oh, you talking about
Dubai.
Dubai, yeah.
Everybody, nobody heard about Dubai, and then the Fast and Furious came out, and
Everybody
then Southwest or whatever flight had that $500 credit, and everybody mama took their ass to Dubai.
Oh, Dubai. Overrated. Dubai.
Really? Overrated?
Really?
Overrated. It's
I've
bad.
never heard that.
Yep. Michelle's on the Dubai glitch. Motherfuckers flying to Dubai for $500. So when they couldn't afford their hotel, but they got to that motherfucker.
It's just certain countries, Maldives, Cuba, y'all just Tulum just ruined them motherfuckers.
Ruined it.
God, but yeah, Malta.
Okay. I do want to tell a quick story before we sign off, and we're a little bit over. Jake, give me 2 seconds, and then we can have some final thoughts. So we were talking about worst trips, right? And I got to tell you about my worst experience. Not on a trip, trying to get somewhere. So we are going to the Bahamas. I know Bahamas. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we're going to the Bahamas, and we're taking Chase. Chase is maybe 6 months old. It's me, Alice, my wife, my mother-in-law, my mother, the baby. We just trying to get out of town for a little bit, enjoy ourselves out of the States, even though the Bahamas were, Anyway, neither here nor there. So this was right when a rule had changed that everyone needed a passport. Before that, you could take children under a certain age with a birth certificate. We were unaware. We get to the airport, and the ticket agent says, "Well, we need your daughter's passport." Again, Chase is like 6 months old, and my wife is like, "Passport? Now we got the birth certificate." Blah, blah, blah. He's like, "Nope, everybody needs a passport. That's a new rule." Now, y'all ever had the people that like want to argue with the motherfucker at the counter, even though they just doing what they supposed to be doing? They ain't shit they can do, right? Like the motherfucker at the counter can't say, "You right."
This was Allison.
I'm not. I said my wife. You don't need a passport. I'll change everything. So this is debate back and forth, and so eventually, my wife, to be named, never, said, "We going to give us our tickets. We gonna go." So we go to we get past everybody, security. Blah, blah, blah. We get on the plane.
With the baby?
With the baby. We get on the plane with the baby. Now, had we taken off and gotten to the Bahamas, how the baby was getting back into the country, who knows? Who knows? But this is the funniest part to me. So the flight attendants, they finally walk up to us and they say, hey, we need to see. I guess they had called probably like these fools and went all the way through everybody. They called, hey, we need to see the baby's passport. We're like, well, I ain't got a passport. I'm like, well, you have to deboard. I got kicked off the plane, y'all. But here's the funniest part. So they say, hey, well, you got to get off, blah, blah, blah. So again, it's my wife, my daughter, my mother, and my mother-in-law. And in my head, I'm like, well, I told this motherfucker, let's not do this. And she realized she wanted to do it. So me and my mama going to the Bahamas, and then we'll see you later. Now, all this going through my head in like 5.2 seconds, right?
Damn.
So the lady's like, you got to get off, whatever. And my wife stands up with the baby, and I don't get up immediately. Like, I kind of sit for a hot second. And I have never, ever had daggers shot through the back of my head. I can't imagine what it feels like, but this is what I think it would feel like. So my mom was like, I'll get off. And I was like, yeah. For about no wait. I didn't say yeah, but in my head I'm like, yeah, but about not even a millisecond, I was like, no, I got up and I got off. But for about 5, for like that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to the beach with my mama. We go kick it. I don't know what you go with this baby because I told you not to bring that mom. But what's up?
None of y'all went?
No. So our mothers went.
Oh, okay.
And then we went and got a expedited passport and we came the next day.
Oh,
okay.
So the trip wasn't ruined, but it's just hilarious to me. So I tell my daughter all the time, I'm like, you are almost Bohemian because I don't know how we would have got you back in the country. So we'd have left you with a nice Bohemian family. We'd have came down and visited once, twice a year. It'd have been fine.
wow.
Oh, overrated. Cruises. God damn, I hate a cruise.
Oh, yes.
How's your friend? He is insistent on trying to make me go on the cruise.
Disney cruise is the only time I've ever had a good time on a cruise.
So just Disney.
Oh, Disney does it right.
Wait in line, too small room. Even if you get the upgrade, ghetto. No.
A ghetto way to travel. Never.
Like Viking? I know like Carnival cruises. Everybody says that's basically the spirit of the water, but
Spirit will sue you right now for saying that shit. That is the frontier of fucking. Oh my!
I know
God.
our time is. I
know, but
I got another underrated.
What you got?
Well, I have to say I fucking hate this. First class flight. There's no better way to go.
Oh, I was gonna say first class is overrated.
No, it's underrated. Pay the money.
It is very underrated. Yeah.
Pay the money.
If there's a certain distance you're traveling, first class is really the only way you should do it.
Anything over 4 hours, I have to be in.
It ain't got to be 4 hours.
No,
Over 4.
No, 12 hours is my.
Anywhere off the out of North America.
Yes.
Now, for you people that's not rich, let me just tell you my ghetto first class hatch. You
do it.
You get the exit row. You take your bag and put it in front of you, and then you prop your feet up. I ain't paying $8,000 for a flight. I travel too much. So I'm going to get that exit row. I'm going to prop my feet up on my bag. I got my headphones. I got my little mask. First class right there.
You got a neighbor next to you who might fuck your trip up? Nah, just if it's over 12 hours, pay for business class.
Let me tell you, another reason I didn't like Beijing. So I did exactly what we thought we doing exactly that, Jen. These old Beijing motherfuckers go stand right up in the exit row, right? Like smoking cigarettes and whoa. All right, they couldn't smoke, but they might as well have been. They were all in our area, standing, stretching their legs. They were having these fucking conversations. One almost sat in my lap. I couldn't believe this shit.
Yeah. When my first time I went to Athens flying back, some Arab woman, and I really think this was just a cultural thing, had literally her knees in the back of my seat. I felt her knees the entire 9-hour flight from Athens to America, and she didn't speak English, so we couldn't get her to understand that her knees were driving my ass fucking crazy. And it was a packed flight, so there was no place else for me to go.
This is how you understand.
That was after 9 and 11. We was all racist and paranoid, right? But yeah, that was a terrible flight.
Pay the money.
Not my worst flight, but it ranks number 2.
All right, y'all. We got to wrap. We went a little over. But this is a fun conversation. We didn't talk about half the stuff we said we were talking about. Jen, any travel hacks, advice, suggestions you want to give folks that we did not touch on?
The only thing is, so I use an app called Hopper and Google Flights to monitor my flights. So let's say, I want to go to Senegal. I'm looking at Dakar. I put those dates in there, and it monitors for me. And what you have to do is just be ready to buy. When Hopper or Google Flights says buy now, that is when I buy my ticket. I will tell you that, like, buying a ticket right now from, let's say, Chicago to Athens, it's going to be about $1,000, but maybe you can save $150 or $200 if you start watching it. So don't freak out about flights. Put them in an app and watch them, and just wait and have the money ready.
$200 is extra hoe.
You would know, nigga. You would know.
Keisha?
I have 3. Google Translate. Don't be afraid. If you go to a foreign country, Google Translate is your best fucking friend. eSIM cards. If you're traveling internationally, yeah, that's a game changer. You don't have to worry about getting a physical SIM card anymore. You can download the eSIM card and text and do all the things abroad. And there was one
Over WhatsApp?
for me, yeah, because I don't have to go to another platform. I can just continue to have the conversations on iMessages and not have to use WhatsApp. WhatsApp is cool if you're like at a hotel on their Wi-Fi, but if you're traveling and you aren't, you're on the subway, you need your own data. So I would never just rely on what's a Wi-Fi connection. Have your own. You need your own data, and it's much cheaper than like the daily rate that AT&T is going to charge you. Just get an eSIM card, pay $50, and you can get data for the number of days that you're traveling. And the other one is what I recently learned about. It's called Stopover Program. And so this is how we're going to do Doha. If you're traveling somewhere, pay attention to if that nation's airline offers a stopover program. And what that means is if I'm flying from Atlanta to Cartagena, but I stop over in Panama, Panama's airline, which is called Copa, allows you to hang out in Panama for anywhere from 1 day to 7 days. And you're only paying for the Atlanta to Cartagena flight. Hanging out in Panama for your layover is basically free. So Turkish Airline allows it. Qatar Airways does it. A bunch of airlines do that. So just pay attention to that nation's airline. If you stop over in their city, you might be able to hang out for a bit and not have to pay for 2 flights. Those are my tips.
Nice.
That was my worst airline. I hated Turkish Airways. Horrible customer service. What was the question again?
I mean, any don't fly Cope. Any travel hacks, tips, advice we haven't touched on?
I will say this. I think people should not be afraid to travel in the off seasons to countries. I know people want to go during the high seasons because that's when the most people are there and it's usually the best weather. But you will get to still experience the country during the low seasons. You'll get better deals during the low seasons. And I will also say, and I was surprised at this, Black Friday is a hell of a time to look at overseas hotels. Yes, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but they will give you a Black Friday deal. My hotel in Santorini and Mykonos, we got them for over 50% off for our stay. So those are probably my 2 tips to pay attention to. And
we gotta wait till motherfucking November.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
I learned this on accident. I just happened to be looking at the site, and that's the other thing, right? If you have some places in place, start looking on Black Friday. I don't think they run like big advertisements. You just may stumble upon that deal just being on their site. So those are my 2 suggestions.
Love it. I'm gonna keep mine a little bit simpler. Watch who you travel with. A lot of times people say they had a bad time here, or this experience wasn't that, or this city sucked. It wasn't the city. It wasn't the experience. It wasn't the things that were to do there or not to do. It was the people you were with. You can't travel with everybody. If you find a crew of people, and by a crew, I mean 2, 3, that you can roll with and have a good time and manage it, and they be cool with, I'm going to take a nap at 8:30. Y'all keep it moving. I catch up with you later. Or we gonna hit this museum and 2 of us gonna hit the beat, blah, 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 blah. You've got to figure out who you can travel with best. And that will make any travel experience, be it Tennessee or be it Turkey, the best time ever. It's not even sometimes about where you at, it's about who you with. All right, y'all. Great show. Appreciate you all. You all got, look, I got some tips. You don't usually walk away from this motherfucker with many tips. Y'all gave me some great tips. it is that time, you all. Fly, travel, do your thing, get your stuff booked for this year. As you see, these ladies already got their stuff booked. But you know what? We didn't even touch on why women travel more than men. Maybe that's another show. Fellas, go travel. Go see the world. Come on now. God damn it. Stop traveling the same 3 places.
That's where the hoes at.
That's
I'm pussy.
where them hoes at. Where them... All right, y'all. Next week, we are going to talk about, can you be pro-black and marry white? We got a couple of people, one end on this side, and the other end on this side. It should be a good one. We'll see y'all next week. Same bad time, same bad channel, 7 o'clock right here. Talk to you then.